Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the REC podcast, brought to you by REC Comics and Collectibles. I'm your host today, Roman Chavez, and with me, as always, is
Erik Icarus.
All right, guys. We have some, as with most days, we have comic book movie stuff, comic book stuff, all things nerd that we want to talk about. And I hope that you guys understand that we're just talking to each other,
yeah.
Erik and I. We're having an interesting conversation in most times, and we hope that you guys find it interesting as well.
Totally.
We're just trying to talk shop and, putting it down for you guys. So the big news today
is
Disney announced their Disney Plus service. This has been kind of looming in the air. This is part of the reason for the cancellations of all the Netflix Marvel stuff, Daredevil, Punisher, Defenders, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, Jessica Jones, etc.
I'm crying a little.
Yeah. Which is the one you're gonna miss the most?
Well, you know.
I know, but they don't.
I am a avid Daredevil fan.
Yeah.
You will find this out through listening to the show. It was crushed. It goes right up there. If you were to tell me that my parents died in a car accident, it's like maybe a little under that.
Oh,
Daredevil getting canceled.
Big deal, man. Charlie Cox
huge.
putting it down for us.
Oh yeah.
But Disney finally announced their streaming service, so we knew that it was coming.
Yep.
Guess how much?
Billions?
Billions? No. Guess how much a month they're going to charge you to watch their content?
Billions.
Billions. Yeah. No, they're going to make billions. They're going to charge $6.99 a month.
That's pretty good.
That's huge.
Pretty awesome.
Some things are going to kick off in our flavor. There's going to be some Star Wars shows going on. We know about Jon Favreau's Mandalorian show. We've seen some set photos. Looks really cool. It's going to be about the bounty hunters, the Mandalorians.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Sure. I'm into it. I am craving new stuff. I'm done with the Skywalkers.
Me too.
I'm just done.
Me too.
I am craving new stuff from this Star Wars universe.
Oh, definitely. I mean, there's so many. They have so much. They have such an expansive universe through the books, the comics, the cartoons.
Oh yeah.
And they have so much to pull from, and I feel they're just limiting themselves to things people maybe just want to see, which isn't true. You ask a real hardcore Star Wars fan, they're talking like what you're saying. Yeah. They want to see new stuff.
Yes. This galaxy is far, far away and very vast. We know that there's a lot to be told. And speaking of those animated shows, they're going to be doing a new season of Clone Wars.
Oh, really?
Clone Wars
was good. It's great.
Clone Wars was great.
That's what I wanted to see on the screen.
Yes.
The silver screen.
Yes. And I don't even think you saw some of the later seasons of Star Wars Clone Wars, but they were excellent.
Really?
And it sounds like that they are going to continue on that brand.
Sweet.
Something that is a little interesting, I think, in that vein of giving us different things, giving us more things, is they're going to be doing a live-action KCN and K2SO. You remember those characters from... did you watch Rogue One?
I did.
Oh yeah, they were the kind of Spanish captain and the robot. Yeah, K2SO.
Okay.
Voiced by Alan Tudyk.
Yeah.
Who, I hope that it's supposed to be live action. They're supposed to get everybody back that they can. So I guess we're going to see some early run-ins. It's hard to watch something like that knowing, just like it was hard to watch Rogue One, how it's going to end.
Right.
But
you want to know the journey.
Yes.
You want to know how they got there and how it ends, why it ends.
Yeah.
I get it. That's cool.
I want to see a live action story about the two guys from Jeddah, Chiru Umwe and Baze, I believe is how you say the other guy's name, which it's weird that I know. But Donnie Yen was my boy. He played Chiru Umwe, and I'd like to see more of those guardians of the temple on Jeddah.
Yeah.
With this news as well, we do have some other Marvel stuff to get back to, but the Star Wars news, a new Star Wars trailer dropped.
Yes, it did.
For Episode 9.
Mm-hmm.
Here it is. The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah. Look, guys, I thoroughly enjoy Star Wars. I do.
Yeah, you do. You do.
But the movies are my least favorite of the canon in terms of storytelling. I don't know, man. Give me something on the. What'd you think of the trailer?
It looked like Star Wars Fury Road. It looked like. I mean, aesthetically, it looked pretty cool, and then the first, the seconds we did get of it, it did look pretty action packed, and I'm gonna watch it.
Okay. Well, you say that, but you didn't watch Last Jedi.
I really didn't, but I think I'm gonna have to do it for the show.
I think so. I think you're gonna.
I might have to catch up, but I have not been excited for Star Wars for a very long time.
Okay.
You know, Force Awakens got me back into it. Like, wow, what a good what a good kickoff to this new way to show this movie. You know, J.J. Abrams had a good start. Then you had watched the Last Jedi?
Yeah.
And, you know, you said it was good. Or did you enjoy it? Or
It's okay.
Yeah, and everybody else I've talked to said it wasn't very good. So I was like, you know what, I'm not going to waste my time. You know, you only have so many hours in the day.
Yeah.
And if you tell me it's or not very good, I'm not gonna put any mind to it.
And
man.
there's cool parts, but you know, I'm not really on board with this. Oh, we're gonna have J.J. Abrams do one, and then we're gonna have Ryan Johnson do one, and then we're gonna have J.J. Abrams come back for Rise of Skywalker. You know, because we're not telling the same story. I mean, literally in Last Jedi, Kylo Ren,
right,
he destroys his helmet.
Okay.
Destroys it. He's mad at something. He's being treated very poorly by our new emperor. I don't even remember his name. The bad guy. Snoke. You're right. Yeah, there you go. See, he does nothing for me. And so he destroys his helmet. And,
now, do you think that was a commentary from the filmmakers about the fans giving them crap about them not doing what they wanted? So it's them destroying the past almost, like them destroying what maybe they hold dear.
I think that there's something to that. And I think it's more of a representation of I wear the mask because I'm Snoke's minion.
Sure.
But you know what? I'm more powerful than Snoke, and he knows it. So I'm breaking my mask to release myself of his power.
Fair enough.
But we see in this trailer he's welding his mask back together, and it's like.
Well, then you said in the second one they were trying to do away with the Skywalker, they were nobodies, or you know what I mean, they were trying not to build them up so much. Now it's like they're bringing them.
It just seems like, oh hey, we're done with the Skywalkers. With spoilers, you know, Luke Skywalker dies in the movie, and yeah, it just seems like, hey, it's, you know, Rey, you're nobody. You're just some smuggler's junkie's daughter, and that's basically what it was. That's what it was. Like, your parents were nobody. They sold you, kind of a thing. You got to watch it, kind of. And then now, I mean, it's called The Rise of Skywalker. I mean, is it not blatant that then she is a Skywalker?
Okay, right.
Because her training is little to none, and she's excellent.
And that's what everyone was hoping for, right? Was Luke getting back into it, getting back in the groove, playing the Yoda part.
Yeah. It really didn't happen.
Well, he chucks the lightsaber off the cliff.
Yeah. He just doesn't care.
Right.
Throws a lightsaber into the ocean, basically. I don't know. It was a big middle finger to, I think, everybody and what they were expecting. But honestly, I got to tell you, I thought this trailer was really cool. I actually thought it looked really epic, and if the name is different, I think I might feel different about the movie.
Sure.
But having it be The Rise of Skywalker, really, I was getting out of my seat, my hands were getting really close together to clap, and then it was like The Rise of Skywalker, and they just spit right in my mouth, so I couldn't even give them any applause. I don't know. I think the trailer is cool. I'm not a fan of the name. I think. You know, we're going to see some more about it. We're going to talk some more about it.
Who's the person in charge of the Star Wars universe now?
So Lucasfilm has their Kevin Feige, their head of studios, this woman, Kathleen Kennedy, who I think, it feels like she might be the problem.
Okay.
All of this stuff is just getting rapidly okayed, it feels like. You know, as soon as they got the rights to it, they were just like, okay, we're going to do this, we're going to do this, we're going to do this. And they've definitely stepped back. And they even said in this, one of the Star Wars celebrations going on right now, I believe in Chicago, and they said that after Episode 9, they're going to take a step back from the movies and kind of, you know, rethink the road that they've put out.
Okay, all right.
And I don't know, I don't know if this woman is not, she's not Star Wars savvy. She is kind of some holdover from the old guard of Lucasfilm, which I think most people think the biggest problem with Star Wars was George Lucas to an extent.
Maybe. I agree with that.
This is a woman who, you know, they panned Solo. They put it in a position to not succeed so they can say, oh, well, you know, it came out against Avengers and Deadpool.
But it was a win-win for them, because if it didn't, they could say, well, it was going against those movies, but if it did succeed, so well, see what it did against these big movies?
You know, they fired and I don't know if it comes directly from her, I believe it does, but they fired Phil Lord and Christopher Miller weeks before Solo was even completed.
That's right. Yeah,
she brings in Ron Howard, and apparently there's a whole other there's a whole other solo movie out there somewhere.
Really?
Yeah.
So this is sort of like the Snyder cut from Justice League.
The Snyder cut, the Donner cut of Superman.
Right.
You know, that type of thing. You know, I don't know. She fires these guys who were coming off Lego Movie success.
Right.
They get rid of them, and those guys go on to help produce Into the Spider-Verse.
Right.
And win an Oscar.
There you go.
I don't know. It just feels like they're giving us a lot of stuff that they think that we want, and they're not listening to what we want.
Sure.
We want new stories,
Yep.
which it sounds like their TV division might be doing some interesting things, although they are giving us a Casey and K2SO.
Yeah,
and
that's cool.
But, yeah, it's just, I don't know. It feels like there's a different way that they could go, and they just extended her contract like last year, so they don't see her as a problem. So, you know, who am I?
Yeah, maybe she's not.
Maybe she's not.
Okay,
but they need to get something figured out.
For sure.
It's not, you know, I don't know.
Yep.
But those were the big Star Wars announcements.
Yeah.
Kind of more my flavor. The things that I'm really excited about.
Yeah, what's that?
Is going to be the Marvel stuff they announced for their Disney Plus.
Oh, cool.
They have announced 5 separate shows.
Okay.
One of them being, the working title is WandaVision, which is going to be about Wanda Maximoff and our boy Vision.
Okay.
Live action. Apparently.
Oh,
yeah, it's not animated.
We're going to get
Elizabeth
Paul
Olsen
Bettany
and Paul Bettany.
Wow. Okay.
They're going to do a Loki, what is being said is like a prequel series.
Okay.
So we're going to see like young Loki growing up. Initially, it said that they said that Tom Hiddleston was just going to narrate, but then they were saying recently that he was going to be in it. So I'm not sure exactly the premise of said show.
That can be a little scary. This could go into like young Hercules territory if not done right.
Yeah, young adventures of Indiana Jones. You
Yeah.
know? A Hawkeye show.
Cool.
And it sounds like it'll be with Clint Barton teaching Kate Bishop how to be, training her. And Jeremy Renner's supposed to be in it as well.
Very cool.
And then the one I'm kind of most excited about for the live action stuff is going to be a Falcon and Winter Soldier miniseries. With our boys.
Okay, cool.
So man, I'm just having a hard time remembering Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan. Yeah. So they are going to be in it.
Wow. You know what? They had such a anti-chemistry in Civil War. Yeah. I wanted more of that.
Oh yeah.
Like I want that. I'm stoked. I'm really stoked for this.
There's no reason that we can't have the Falcon, Hawkeye, Black Widow, Winter Soldier show up at all in S.H.I.E.L.D.
Right.
Just kind of having these lower level heroes make some appearances, or even have Coulson show up in some of the stuff. I really hope that he does.
I want more Coulson, baby.
They said that there was going to be 2 more unscripted Marvel shows, so I don't know if that's if it's
so it's like Evening at the Improv with the superheroes.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
whose line is it anyway? The superheroes,
something like that, or maybe it's going to be some type of show that's talking about all things Marvel, or maybe it's just like, hey, we have names.
What we're doing.
Yeah, kind of this. They're doing. Maybe they'll hear this and give us a job.
Yeah, come on.
But one of the cool things that they're doing is they're going to be doing an animated version of What If.
Yes.
For those of you that don't know, Marvel
Give us the skinny.
made some interesting maneuvers in the 80s, maybe even the late 70s. I can't remember when What If came out, but it was a comic book produced by Marvel. What If, and it would kind of just give you these what if scenarios instead of what if the Hulk killed the Wolverine in their first meeting,
right? Or what if Silver Surfer had grabbed the gauntlet off Thanos?
Yes,
which was a really cool issue. Man.
So they have all these very different versions of stories. Most recently, in the last 10, 15 years, they've actually been doing what if stories on actual storylines that they did, like entire storylines. So, for instance, they did like a What If Civil War. And a What If House of M. These were like big titles from Marvel, and then they kind of like just flip some things, and what if this happened instead? They're all very, very interesting.
Those are always my favorite, some of my favorite books. Really. Yeah. They were great. They're entertaining.
Yeah, they've had ones like What If Conan the Barbarian was in this time, and at this time it would have been the late 80s, early 90s, It shows Conan the Barbarian all, barbarianed out, but he's got a handgun, we had a What If Conan versus Thor. What if Wolverine versus Conan? I don't know why I'm fixated on Conan, but those things are there.
He's got to get his love, baby.
Yeah. What was a What If story that you really liked when you were younger?
Man, aside from the What If Silver Surfer had got the gauntlet, there was a... I'm going to bring it back up.
All right.
Bringing it around. what if Daredevil was an agent of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Oh, okay.
It's a very interesting comic. It goes back. It's essentially retelling a story, and turns out that the toxic waste that gets in his eye was from Stark. It was Stark Industry that blinded him, and so that's why they're able to track him down. And Stark finds out, and then they kind of employ Daredevil to be a agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., and that's something I like to see animate or redone. You know,
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I could see that would be. You know, I wish it was more. I wish they were doing live action. What if?
Oh.
You know, that would be a cool way to bring in the Netflix people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Interact with the movie people.
I hope that if they do any of the animated ones and they have Daredevil and Luke Cage, that they're bringing in Charlie Cox
To do the voices. I don't see why they
Mike Coulter. Like, yeah, you guys, hey, we're gonna, we killed your shows.
Yeah.
Our bad.
Yep.
Let's throw them some voice work, and then maybe they find a way to bring back live action. Who knows?
Who knows?
But, for
How about you, man?
One of my favorite what if stories is a more modern one. It was a what if Planet Hulk. And
cool.
in the Planet Hulk series, I'll try to abridge this.
Yeah, give the
you
quick
guys.
notes, man.
What's called the Illuminati in Marvel Comics. It's Xavier, Stark, Reed Richards, Black Bolt, Namor, Doctor Strange, and they kind of decide that the Hulk is too dangerous to have on Earth. They set up this fake thing to happen where, like, hey, there's this gamma radiation on the ship in space. We need you to go take out the core, and then you'll be doing us a solid. Hulk gets on there. It was just a ruse. They're like, hey, man, you're too much of a liability. You've always wanted to be left alone. We've chartered you a course to a planet. It's got food. It's got all this stuff you can hunt, and you'll be alone basically, except with animals.
Yep.
So they send him there, but on the way to his paradise planet, his ship gets knocked off course, and he ends up landing on the slave planet. Very much the basis for Thor Ragnarok.
For sure. Yeah,
but
yeah.
instead of Thor being enslaved, it's actually the Hulk is enslaved.
Right.
Anyway, he ends up rising up through the ranks there. He ends up actually becoming the ruler of that planet.
Oh, yeah.
Falls in love with this woman who is she has these like stone powers. They call her the Old Strong. They're going to have a child. Well, the ship he's on ends up like having like a core meltdown, and it explodes on the planet, causing tectonic shifts, volcanoes and all that stuff, and literally consumes pretty much all of his people. It ends up taking the life of his wife carrying their child. Hulk is upset, comes back to Earth, rounds up the Illuminati, makes them fight. He's going to try to make them fight to the death. Things happen. Hulk loses, but it was nothing but great fights.
Wow.
Well, in the what if,
Yes.
instead of in the original version of Planet Hulk, when the plane's about to explode, he tries to chuck it out of the atmosphere, but it blows up in the atmosphere, which is what causes all these things the bad stuff to happen. Instead, he chucks his woman up into the atmosphere, so the thing explodes. She's able to come back down. She rescues people. The Hulk dies right there. She rescues the people who are left, and then she leads
the Resistance.
Back, and she is far less forgiving. Like, she just starts murking people right off the bat.
Regardless, Bruce has a relationship with them.
Yeah.
Regardless, and she knows nothing to do.
All she knows is that they send him here to be a slave, and we see her. She enslaves the entire human race. She enslaves all of the heroes, and it takes them years. Like, we see the Thing, and he's like got like an old rock beard, and and at the end they've been building this statue of the Hulk. It's gigantic, and like I said, she had like stone powers, and you see their son, and he's kind of like whipping the workers. It was weird because what he liberated his planet from, she brings it to his planet, and she goes up, and his hand's kind of like out and towards the sky, and she like leans into it and kind of crouches on one knee. And then she turns the stone in his hand.
Wow.
It was super sweet.
Heartbreaking.
Super sweet. Super it was a great what if.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
And the rumor is they're saying that they're going to start their animated show. One of the first ones will be a what if Peggy Carter was Captain America.
Yeah.
Or takes a super soldier, because she is British. So what if she takes a super soldier serum instead of Steve?
Yeah.
That would
get
be
our Captain Britain?
Yeah, that's exactly what they'll do. That's exactly what they'll do.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. I'm excited. I'm like crazy excited for this, man.
Is that something you're willing to spend $6.99 a month?
Oh yeah, $7.
Yeah,
I spend more on coffee.
Yeah, there you go. And then I believe that they're gonna have packages. If you pay all at once, it's gonna be like $5.50. You know, like they're going to take a little bit off. You know,
they get you.
Yeah. So plus you're going to have access to the back catalog of tons of Disney properties, cartoons that are currently going.
For the kiddies.
Yeah. It's going to be worth its weight. It's about half the price of Netflix now.
Right.
And they're going to be making their own original content. So
for Netflix.
Yeah, they gotta make moves. They gotta kind of halt a little bit on some of these wacky stuff like Sense8, and they need to consolidate a little bit because they're Disney. They don't need this streaming service.
No,
they don't need it.
No,
but they're gonna get my money because they're gonna give us roughly 8 shows that I'm very interested in.
For sure.
And Netflix, I really liked season 1 of Stranger Things. I have not watched season 2.
It was good, man.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. I just don't care.
Well, you had told me, which I'm a bad nerd for not watching, Umbrella Academy. One of my favorite musicians wrote the comic book, Gerard Way, from My Chemical Romance fame. You told me it was great.
It's excellent. Yeah. I still have 2 episodes to finish. Yeah. I'm not completely done, but I burned through a bunch of it. And yeah, you particularly would love it. It's kind of obscure. It's out there, but it's a family story at the end of the day.
Sweet.
But yeah, it's very solid.
Awesome.
We have some other things that we want to talk about as well. We have been accepted on numerous platforms.
Yes.
iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, Castbox. We're up on YouTube. It's audio only.
Yes.
As most of you have checked out there.
Yeah.
We will do video as we go on.
We're getting there.
You want to see our handsome faces. I get it. Mm-hmm. I get it.
Oh yeah.
But for right now, we're just doing audio only. We want to get to your ears. We want to talk about all these things. We always mention REC Comics and Collectibles.
That's right.
We think about the podcast as kind of a phase 1. Phase 2 is getting. Thank you. That was my wife. Coined that.
Yeah, let's steal that from your wife.
Yeah. She coined that from our Marvel overlords. And phase 2 is going to be an Instagram page where I'll be selling some collectibles.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
It's at REC Comics on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
We may look to do a full online store.
Yeah.
And then down the road do a brick and mortar. So this thing's got phases to it.
That's right.
We hope that you stick around for the
Come
ride.
on for the ride, big time.
And we hope that you like what we're putting down. What did you learn today, Eric?
I'm just Disney's getting more of my money.
Yeah.
That's what I learned.
Nice.
The mouse is robbing me.
Yeah, man. The mouse. What's going to rise up to fight the Mouse House? I don't know, because if Warner Brothers and DC can do it, they already have their streaming service.
They do. They do.
I haven't signed up for it at all. They've got like 4 shows going.
I don't get it.
I just don't care about anything else they've got going on over.
Exactly. It's content, man.
Yep.
If it's not interesting content, I don't care.
No.
It's how it goes. Unfortunately,
I just don't know anybody who's watching the DC streaming service.
Me either.
I learned that there is more Star Wars stuff that I want, and I learned that if you have a terrible title, no matter how good your trailer looks, if your title doesn't work for me, it will pull me out of the experience. Rise of Skywalker, please be good. Please be good.
I'm noticing the rise of anything isn't good. Rise of Silver Surfer.
The rises in the last...
Hannibal Rising.
Oh my gosh.
See?
Oh my gosh.
No rise is good.
Yeah, we might have to have a little segment on top rising flops.
Wasn't there a 300 Rise something too and it sucked?
Yeah, Rise of the... Well, it was okay. Yeah, it was I don't even know.
The Planet of the Apes had something?
Rise of the Planet of the Apes? Oh my gosh. You may be on to something, sir. You may be on to something. That has been our show today. Thank you for tuning in. Again, if you like what we're doing, please hit subscribe and hit that like button or leave us a review. It will help us go up the charts on iTunes and so on.
For sure.
For the REC podcast, I have been Roman Chavez.
I am still Eric Icarus.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us today.